Welcome to Life Notes. Thank you for joining us today. It's difficult to accept the death of the young in modern society without wondering what went wrong. These deaths are difficult to accept even when they are caused by accidents or disease. But when they are self-inflicted, it causes us to pause and to ask, what in the world is happening? Today, I want to update a blog I posted several months ago about a very serious subject, because recent events have reminded us of the importance of our addressing this particular issue. The Christian community was shocked to learn recently of the death by suicide of Jared Wilson, a 30-year-old rising voice among Christ followers. Jared was on the staff of a major California megachurch and actually founded an organization to help people dealing with depression. He was a sought-after speaker and a popular author. He left behind a wife and 2 young sons. Yet even though Jared had a vibrant faith, a bright future, a loving family, seemingly everything we say people need to be happy, he wrestled with depression. And evidently, late one night when he was losing his latest battle with depression, it was too much, and he ended his own life. Incidences like Jared's occur not only among the well-known or in big cities, but among our friends and families and communities all around us. Over 800,000 people around the world take their own life each year. And of course, many more make an attempt. According to one report, suicide is the second leading cause of death among 15 and 29-year-olds worldwide, the 10th leading cause of death in the United States regardless of age. Men, young adults, and senior adults are the most likely groups to end their own life. This is an issue that should concern every Christ follower, because we're instructed by our Lord to love people, to bind up the brokenhearted, to care for those who are overcome by oppression. Each of us must ask God to show us what we can do to confront this growing crisis. We can certainly begin by talking with our own children and grandchildren about issues which contribute to anxiety, issues like human sexuality, the meaning of success and human worth, the dependability of family and friends, the value of spiritual community. Now, while a relationship with Jesus is no guarantee against suicide, as Jared's death shows us, a strong faith is nevertheless a great inhibitor to loneliness and depression, which are 2 of the major causes of suicide. Chemical and physical abuse are 2 other factors we see contributing to feelings of depression and desperation. Communities and even churches are facing challenges with these issues, and we need to take preventative action. The answer to drug abuse simply cannot be making illegal drugs legal and placing them in the marketplace. The opioid crisis certainly shows us that. While we see seniors living longer, we nevertheless see many overwhelmed by illness, financial distress, loneliness, lack of meaningful purpose for end-of-life living. Christ followers need to become part of helping individuals who view death a better option than continuing to live. For some believers, this means we've got to change the way we think about suicide, because for many years, some of us have thought of suicide as the unpardonable sin. While we know that sin is acting outside of God's will or design, and that taking one's life is not a part of that plan, suicide is not beyond God's grace. It's not the unpardonable sin. It's not unforgivable. It's time for us to talk to people who are facing depression, because depression is an illness. We all have blue days when we're depressed, But depression that lasts for weeks and continues to reoccur may be a sign of serious sickness. And if that describes you, you need to be seen by a medical doctor. And I encourage you, don't let this condition go untreated. Let's address the problem. Let's find a solution. Most of all, let us reach out with compassion to those who are struggling with thoughts of depression. Now, let us be clear when we do it that we're here to help in the name and with the love of Jesus. Now, I want to identify some warning signs that we should be looking for in the lives of individuals wrestling with thoughts of suicide. Obviously, if someone is making comments about wanting to kill themselves or wishing that they were dead, we need to be listening and watching. If people are withdrawing from contact with others, changing their normal routine, we need to take notice, particularly if these things are occurring along with abuse of drugs or alcohol. And finally, I would also encourage us to watch for dramatic mood swings or signs of prolonged anxiety among our family, our friends, even the people we work with. To borrow a phrase, if we see something, we need to say something to our friend. Or if need be, we may need to say something to someone who can intervene. Because any of these warning signs should cause us to pay attention to the individual, to talk to them, possibly to encourage them to reach out for professional help. Now, an excellent anonymous resource is the National Suicide Hotline at 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. If you think a person is in immediate danger of acting out on their depression, you need to call 911 and let a trained professional decide the appropriate response. As Christ followers, we need to ask the Holy Spirit to help us be aware of hurting people. And then we need to reach out to those who are lonely. Remember, being lonely and alone are not the same thing, because it's possible to be surrounded by people and still feel alone. We need to reach out and connect with people. This is a time when we need to talk with our children, our grandkids. It can be hard. It can be hard growing up. They may be afraid to talk to us, telling us what's going on. They may feel guilty that it's their fault. They may not know how to tell us. Listen, don't let your kids fall through the cracks. Talk with them. We also need to stay in contact with older adults, particularly those who live alone and those who have recently experienced the death of a loved one. Now, let me give you one final practical suggestion. Keep your medications and guns, if you have them, in a secure location. Don't let them be used to take a life. We may wish we didn't have to talk about these kind of things, but friend, it's a fact of life. Unfortunately, people are taking their life or helping others to take their life far too often in this current age. And it doesn't matter their age, their gender, their hometown, even their spirituality. Now, as we close today, let me reach out to those who may be feeling overwhelmed. If that's you, you don't feel like it's worth continuing the struggle, I want to encourage you to call a friend or a pastor right now. Tell them how you feel. Ask for help. Now, if you don't have anyone to talk to, don't forget that national hotline at 1-800-273-TALK. Give them a call. Tell them what's going on. I want to end with a word to believers. Friends, we need to be encouragers. We need to spread hope and joy. Sometimes we get caught up in talking about how bad things are going on and railing against this group or that politician. We can contribute to an atmosphere of hopelessness and desperation. Listen, friend, we're followers of the Lord Jesus. He's our hope. We are people of hope. It's time we change our tune and spread the joy. May God help us. Until next time, I'm praying for you grace and peace. God bless you.